go.
Hi.
Hello. How's it going?
Hi. And I will try and just like direct questions to you, and you guys definitely direct questions to me. So anyway, welcome to my little kitchen. I am so excited to have you both here. I'm never sure if we're going to have 6 people, 1 person, 3 people.
Yeah.
But I think we have 2 of you guys. So you want to ask who's who?
Well,
Here?
I wanted to introduce Connie McCormick from West Palm Beach.
But who's Connie?
We've got
Me?
there she is.
Hi, Connie.
And Dean and Tori DiMarzo from Hyde Park, New York. Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome. Boy, East Coast people, gotta love it. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock your time. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Connie, West
Yeah.
Palm Beach. Have you always
Yeah.
lived there?
No, I was born in New Jersey and
Okay.
also lived in Michigan in Ludington.
Oh yeah, I know Ludington, right on the beach there, Lake Michigan. Yeah.
Yes, I know. I binge watched Little People Big World from season 1 to the end, but stupidly started with the last season.
Well, that's okay. And you still want to be a part of this, huh?
I love you.
Well, I appreciate that. I do. You know, it's joining this crazy reality show back in the day. Just to give a quick little history. I mean, we kind of started this back in 2004. It really became episodes in 2006. So I mean, what, 6, 4? That's 14 years. So we've been doing this about 16 years. If you counted episodes, but for me, I've been doing it for 18 years. Once you do the pilots and all this stuff,
Wow.
I will tell you this. I am amazed we are still on the air.
Yes.
You know, some of my kids have made other choices, which I'm so excited for because they're adults. They want to do other things in their life and stuff like that. So Zach and Tori are still on. And so we shall see about this new season. You watch.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a new season?
It's a dicey one. Very
I'm so
dicey.
excited.
Yeah.
Dicey and juicy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. But yeah, I mean, it's not publicly announced, but you know, I'm assuming we're doing new episodes, but why are we filming?
Right.
When
Why
is it?
are we filming
start?
episodes? What?
Do you know when it will start?
That I don't know. They don't do that because you know they're still working out their schedule. When does this best fit in and this show and this show?
Mhm.
So I think it's going to be anywhere from late spring to middle of the summer. But I'll
So
either announce it or you'll see it on TLC. But anyway, again, I appreciate you watching.
Oh, I
Um,
love it.
Same
What?
name as your daughter-in-law, Tori.
Oh yeah, we're Dean and Tori. Oh yeah, DiMarzo. So yeah, thank you for joining us from West Palm Beach here, Connie. I appreciate
Oh,
that.
I'm so
Maybe
excited.
Maybe one day I'll be out there. But Dean,
Come
Tori.
visit.
Oh, go on. What?
Come and visit. You can
Yes.
stay with us.
I will. We'll later on. Maybe we'll get into some legacy recipes bringing down from the family. Anyway, Dean, Tori, how are y'all doing?
Good. Excited
Who's
to
the cook
cook.
in the family?
Yeah.
All right,
It's usually me.
Dean. What's one of your favorite things to cook?
I do a lot. I work a lot with chicken. That's the. it's
I
the
have
most
dietary
common.
restrictions a lot.
Okay.
There's a few red meat. It doesn't really happen in our house, but so we'll be working with chicken today. But that's good.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I bake a lot of dishes.
Yeah.
Getting into other stuff. I don't know. What do I do?
Well, to me, that's one of the beautiful things about a sheet pan. You know, when you're a working couple or, having grandkids over, or like for me, it's just Chris and I. I mean, you can have this amount or you can make enough for a big family. It's quick. It's, seasonings are not limited, but you don't need a lot because that roasting really brings out so much flavor. And I think, let me ask you this. Do you have skin on your chicken?
No, we're gonna be
No.
working with just chicken breast.
Okay. The one thing I have issues with sometimes for myself is I gotta really pay attention to that because I don't want to dry out my chicken. So the one thing I have found, I haven't done a lot with roasting unless it's with chicken thighs. But when I saute, because I use a lot of skinless, boneless chicken, and I just do a coating of dusting, but I don't think that works with roasting. Because with sauteing, you have olive oil and you can kind of like, I don't know, not fry it up, but
Yeah, give it
brown
a-
it and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So yeah, that would be great. Did you prep your chicken or are you just gonna do olive oil on it when you put it in the oven?
Yeah, just gonna do olive oil and seasoning. I'm
Okay,
prepping
cool.
the
Did
veggies
you,
right now.
Did you pound your chicken at all?
No, I should.
Yeah, you should. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a thing.
The only reason I say that you don't, because sometimes I have the issues depending on where I get my chicken. When I pound it, it's like, wait a minute, what happened? It just turned to shreds. Like,
Yeah.
what in the world's going on? And so, but I have found that pounding chicken, especially if it's skinless and boneless, it will tenderize it a little bit and you can even out the thick from
Right.
the skinnier part of the chicken and
So it
hopefully,
cooks even.
yeah, it'll cook more evenly and
Yeah,
stuff.
that makes sense.
So, I mean, you don't have to do it, but I sometimes in cooking, I don't know about you, Connie and Dean and Tori, but sometimes you get into these habits in cooking and you just do it like, well, that's the way I've always been doing it.
Right,
Yeah.
you
And when
never
someone
asked
else
why.
comes along with an idea, I'm like, oh my
I
gosh.
know.
I was like, wait a minute, where have I been? So anyway, so thank you both for joining us.
Yeah.
Do you guys, has any of you seen Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, any of these cooking videos I do?
I watch them all the time.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because
And
I
hi,
don't-
Lisa. I didn't mean to ignore you, Lisa.
Oh, no, that's okay. She's my sidekick.
I'm the
I
soup
know.
chef.
But, well, you know, I'm excited because, you know, it's not like I'm probably telling anybody new. I think when I follow a lot of people that cook and chefs and all this other stuff. And I think everyone just has like a different style or they'll add different ingredients. I thought, oh, that puts a different spin on it. You guys are cooking with chicken. Oh my gosh, I am so overwhelmed by the number of chicken recipes. And they're
Yeah.
all just slight variations.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I'll get back to you, Connie, but what is your favorite thing you like to do with chicken?
I like that.
Dean and
Yeah.
Tori.
So
There's like
there's one dish I've been doing where I'll first roast the chicken, get it just near to the point of cooking, and then at the last moment throw on some apple butter and
like apple
cinnamon,
yeah.
and then roast some potatoes in that
With some
like a brown
broccoli.
sugar butter glaze, and
Add some
then
broccoli. It's like a sheet
onions and
dish.
apples in the same kind of sheet
Yeah.
dish thing we're doing today.
Wow,
So you
that
brought
sounds-
in a little bit of the sweet thing.
Yes,
To your
yeah,
chicken.
she's got a sweet tooth, so
Yeah.
yes.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's great.
Mhm.
Connie, have you done a lot of sheet pan baking or?
I try not to cook any more than I have to. But my no.
Okay,
I have
Um,
that a lot of I usually like my chicken coated with ranch dressing and breadcrumb,
Mhm.
and I do fry it like that or bake it.
yes.
Oh.
I'm assuming you've done a lot of cooking in your day for like your kids or maybe some grandkids.
Oh
And
yeah.
now I'm assuming what you're at least probably our age, maybe
No, I'm older than you.
older than me. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not much. She looks,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we're young. What do you mean kicking my feet? We're 60. I mean,
know,
crying out
60,
loud.
60.
Now these two down here are youngins.
I know.
Yeah, they're young.
No, but I think it's great because I think what's happening in cooking really is I love it because I love the farmers market. They're really getting back to more local And the one thing, the one thing I'd love, in fact, I was talking to someone yesterday. I went to this gathering from the wives, from the poker guys that Chris has been playing poker with for a long time. You know what I wish grocery stores would do? As we try and help people, because there's so many people on a budget. I'm grateful that, I can buy fresh foods regardless whether it's in season or not. But there's so many people that can't.
Right.
And eating healthy to me is expensive.
Yeah.
I wish in the grocery stores, they would have a section like these are seasonal fruits or vegetables. Like, depending on where you live, we should not be getting blueberries in February. Blueberries happen in July and August.
Yes.
And so, like you guys, coming from the East or the Midwest, I remember eating a lot more citrus, like grapefruits and oranges, and maybe bananas too. I'm not sure, because those were more available and cost less. I know I went on a tangent. Sorry, people.
No, that makes sense. No, focusing on.
But I wish that they would put up a sign said these are seasonal, so that if you are on a budget, yeah, your kid may want blueberries, but you know what? Help them to eat an orange or a banana. That's a lot cheaper. And eating more of your root vegetables, spaghetti squash, butternut squash, other root vegetables, beets and stuff. Because anyway,
absolutely,
that's what I wish.
I should correct my statement. I don't like to cook anymore, but I used to have to cook all the time.
Well, I kind of figured that, Connie.
Yeah.
And to your point, Tori, the question you were going to ask, do I grow anything? You would have thought I would have grown a lot more stuff living on a farm and everything. I'd have to say I'm not a good gardener. I will plant
tried, it didn't go well.
Yeah. I will plant the stuff. Oh, I'll get so excited when they start to grow. But then I thought, oh, well, I planted these two close together. Why didn't this grow? And all the weeds.
You have a mean herb garden out
And
here. She has a great herb garden.
That's good.
And so when I moved to the house, to this house off the farm, I thought, well, there's no way we're going to have a vegetable garden here and containers. And I realized how important containers are. So I just have pots and I grow herbs because I really like fresh herbs. And those are very expensive in the store.
Yeah. I don't know. That looked like a pretty awesome garden you and your daughter planted.
Well, yeah, that was back at the farm.
Yeah.
But here at the house, my herbs are in pots. So I'll do rosemary, thyme, parsley, basil, oregano. What else? Seems like there was something else.
I don't remember.
Oh dear. Anyway, spring's coming up. I'm gonna have to replenish that.
Yes.
Well, let's go.
I can't grow anything. I kill everything. If it doesn't live on air, forget it.
So do I. Well, the one thing that's new to me, I'm trying to, understand beef a little bit. We don't have beef that often either. I only try and have beef maybe once, but I am married to an Idaho guy that he's meat potatoes, and I got to get more creative in some of these chicken recipes. But flank steak and skirt steak are very similar. I think it can be a tougher meat. In fact, I'm going to modify this recipe a little bit. That if you do flank steak, I have seen it just broiled, a little salt and pepper broiled. It's great. But if you cook it too far, I think it can be tough.
Yeah.
And it's such a thin steak. In fact, no, this is skirt steak. I decided to do skirt steak. So this is skirt steak. I mean, it's very thin.
Yeah.
And that's why, if you're going to do something like this with the vegetables, cook a meat that will cook fast and in a timely manner. Or even though it's a sheet pan, you might have to do it in different stages. This is what I made. No. This is what I made earlier This is what I made earlier today.
Looks great.
But I already have a modification to this. Because
All I know is Chris is a lucky guy to get all that good cooking.
that's why we're on an exercise program now. COVID, we sat around too much. But with that dish, I cook the potatoes a little ahead of time because they will take, longer to cook. And that's why I said to pound out your chicken. So it'll cook in
Evenly.
yeah, it'll cook evenly,
Sort
but
of.
in less time. So if you just left the chicken here, you know how you got that bigger part and it graduals down to a thinner part? And I've even pounded chicken and I've cut them in half because the piece is too big. Anyway, but then I went ahead and thought, man, this steak's gonna cook quick. So I went ahead and roasted the asparagus, onions, mushrooms, and tomatoes. Well, I cooked them a little too long. Because by the time I put the steak on, I'm like, okay, this is another 6 to 8 minutes and on each side. Then my asparagus got a little wimpy.
A little wilted.
But I like it that way.
Me too.
Pardon?
I like it better that way. I don't
Yeah.
like it crunchy.
You know what? It's so funny because that's how Chris likes them. But I'm like, no. You have cooked
No.
that veggie to death.
I like it soft.
Yeah. So anyway, so what I'll do here is we'll cook the tomatoes, or this is how I do it. You guys share what you guys would do too. I'll go ahead and cook the potatoes, and then I will add the asparagus, tomatoes, or I'll cook the onions with maybe the potatoes. Then I'll add the mushrooms, the tomatoes, and the asparagus, but I'll just cook them enough just to get them started. And then I'll lay the steak on or the chicken or whatever else. And then continue to roast from there. But obviously, to me,
It started.
yeah, it's about a sheet pan, but it doesn't mean you cook everything all at once. It will have to go in stages, depending on your veggies. So yeah, so where's my bowl? I don't know about you, but I think it's easier sometimes to oil and salt your ingredients in a separate bowl and then lay them down. Because other than that, I think your sheet pan, because I use parchment paper on mine, it's less cleanup.
Is this your off?
Yeah. Do you want to do that? And then that way I can make sure, the potatoes are well coated and I can see what's happening with the salt and pepper. Now, if you want a little more smoky flavor, I love smoked paprika. That is a nice, onto your potatoes or something like that. Now, are you cooking this along with me, Dean and Tori? Okay, great.
I'm gonna put myself on mute so you don't hear the banging in the background.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Connie, I think you were gonna have your daughter on here.
Yeah.
Well, share this recipe with her if this is something she'd like.
I did. I saved it.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I have made similar to this with the chicken and the ranch, and then I make the potatoes with the olive oil and cheese and salt and put it on the side. So
I mean, this is such an easy dinner, and a lot of it is just your combination of what you want to put with it. Like I'm already thinking butternut squash, maybe some broccoli, some onions, and I love roasted tomatoes. Love it. So, that's a lot of oil.
will this be
Lisa over oil. So I'm just gonna put this on here.
will this be posted anywhere? Because I do Facebook Lives and everybody's asking if there's a way to watch this.
This is posted on my Facebook page.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll go to Instagram or not, but it will be posted on the.
Yeah, we've already got the recipe. So Naveed, our producer, is on here. He can let us know when it'll be posted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But eventually it will go on to my Facebook page.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then it will go on Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen's site and YouTube. YouTube
Okay.
channel. It'll be kind of like a fun thing. Okay. whether we have time for all of this, I'm not sure. It depends on how much time you all have. But we're gonna put this in the oven. Usually to me, roasting, and I love the little baby potatoes because they don't take as long. I thought these were a little bit on the large size, so I cut them in half. But this should only take maybe 15 to 20 minutes because as we continue to cook, the potatoes will continue. But if you could just not easily, but if you could poke a fork in your potatoes, then they're getting done and load your other stuff up. So we're gonna put this in the oven. Got it. Now, Dean and Tori, for you guys doing chicken, depending on how flat your chicken is, I don't know if you kind of want to put that chicken with your potatoes. I'm not sure, you know, how long that would take. But when you flatten your chicken, I mean, chicken usually cooks pretty quick as well. And Dean, if you've been cooking with chicken probably a lot longer than I have, you know.
I would love to have Dean and Tori's recipe for chicken because that sounded really good.
Yeah, yeah.
I had put it in the comments on the Instagram post that you had made that we
Yeah, I
had
think that's what
commented
got it
on.
here.
So somebody had asked for it, so I had commented it in that section.
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, you can also email it to Nikki, who's been corresponding with you, and then we can have it as well.
Yeah, if we have it that way, I can do like, hey, we did the Zoom, one of the people on sharing their recipe.
Yeah.
Run with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll email her. It was from a friend of mine, so I'm sure she'll be happy to pass it
But
down.
sometimes the comments with so many people commenting or not commenting, it can get kind of lost and hard to find.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to go for some questions?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Bring it on.
Connie, you want to start with one of your questions that you sent in to us?
Where's my sheet?
You know, I was so shocked to get chosen that when they asked me what questions did I want to ask, my mind was completely blank. I couldn't think. I said, oh my God, I'm going to meet Amy Roloff and Lisa personally. Well, I already asked. One of them is about the Little People Big World, when it would come on again. But
well, I don't know the exact date. We are filming, so I'm assuming episodes will be out.
Good, that's exciting. And I can't remember my other. Oh, I wanted to ask Amy if, and I believe this answer is no, but being a little person, do you find anything that's difficult to do? I can relate to you because even though I'm not really considered a little person, I'm only 4'9", so yeah. I know some of the struggles. Yeah. But I've watched you and I don't see there's anything that you can't do.
Well, you know, I get this question asked a lot because I work hard at, I guess, coming across as, you know, a little woman force and, you know, being confident and all that stuff. But internally, I mean, each and every day, I always wonder, okay, what am I going to encounter? What is it, that one little thing? And I'd have to say it's not a big thing. It's these little things that, gosh, I'm trying to give an example. Like even going grocery shopping.
That's what I was just going to say.
Grocery shopping.
Yeah, that's a biggie. Well, those top shelves, they think everybody's 5 foot, 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
Well, I have learned over time to ask, you know, and then it pisses me off when, you know, I'm down an aisle I'm like, just get me going, let me do my thing. And the grocery stores shift everything around. Like, man, I just have it.
Yeah.
This is here and here and here. And then it got moved to the upper shelf and then I don't see it down the aisle. And I'm like, oh, is it worth it? Oh, I'll come back to it. Of course, I leave the store forgetting. And so sometimes I'll look down the other aisles and I'll find one of the workers. I said, hey, you know, can you come over here and help me? I got to get something down. And, you know, they help and everything. But
I have to do that too. I'm always stopping a customer if they're tall. I said, will you get this for me? Because it's horrible to be short for me.
Well, I think for me, obviously, it's been all my life. So, but just because something has been there all of my life doesn't make it always easier all the time.
Right.
And
Right.
so, obviously I have a visual, okay, she's got challenges. She must have a hard time doing, whatever. Other people, the one thing I tell other people though, is that when you're average height, a lot of people may not see what you're dealing with or what your challenge is, or what you're having to encounter each and every day, or once a month, once in a while, whatever it may be. And that's easier to cover up. I think sometimes, I overcompensate that confidence when maybe I should say, but, being a little person or anyone of differences like that, the minute you say you have a problem or an issue or you need help or a challenge, I mean, think about what goes on today. It's like people overblow it up as if, can we just focus on this? It doesn't mean I can't do all of this.
Yeah.
I'm struggling here. Yeah. Not everything else.
Yeah. You
So
just amaze me at what you can do, what you have done and what you do. It's just remarkable.
And that's why I think we have to just be careful that, just give people the grace, and hey, they may struggle here. It doesn't mean they can't do a whole bunch of other things elsewhere, And I'm not really big on, I know a lot of celebrities out there, plus individuals, and that's fine. Look at me. I mean, I'm enjoying talking to you. I don't even know who you are. But we have this sense of community, but I also think we have to be careful with that sense of community on social media.
Right.
And I think people divulge a lot more than they should. Sometimes things should be reserved for your close community that you see all the time, and not,
I know. I do.
But that's my personal opinion.
I see where you're saying, because I do Facebook Lives every week, and you really have to be careful with the public out there, because there's some crazies.
Not only that, but as we watch the news and just everything we do now, people will take a snippet. I mean, I look at my show. It's a real show. I mean, we do real things. I mean, Lisa knows.
Yeah, it's not scripted.
We're filming like 2 hours,
Right?
To like 2 minutes, and when we see, or when I see the edited version of it, I'm like, well, golly, man, that's not what I thought about that 2 hours.
Where's the rest of it?
Well, it gave a different vibe, and so now people will see it in that context. And so, that's why, I try and be careful on our live things and everything, not to say too much, because people will take the littlest thing. In fact, you know what happened? I don't get on Twitter much. I don't, Twitter to me is like, oh my gosh.
Another thing
it's all you young people get on Twitter, but not me. Well,
I don't know how.
This one Twitter person, I can't even remember his name, had a little video of me, and I do cameos. People have always wanted me to do cameos. I don't publicize it, but I do cameos, wish people a happy birthday, and some people want to do like a joke or a gag type of thing, and I'll modify it because if I feel uncomfortable saying some of the things they want me to say. Well, anyway, there's one part that says, well, hey, maybe they should let you go or get fired or something like that. It was a joke. Well, the part that they had was, oh, David, or whatever the person's name was, you should be fired or be fired. And I just happened to get a hold of that. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, people.
That's not what
you're seeing a little blurb of a cameo I did, because people, and that's where you guys got me on a tangent.
No.
Tori, do you have a question you want to ask?
Yeah, well, I had like a really simple question, but I just wanted to know what your favorite dessert that you make is.
I'm not a baker, so I don't get into a lot of those sophisticated desserts, which I would love to do, but I like rustic stuff. I like those crostini or galette, to me, it's like a rustic pie, really. So I like making pies, fruit pies, crisps. things like that.
My favorite pie of Amy's is a cherry pie.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Probably that's one of
Well,
the
that's Chris's favorite.
Oh,
So.
you do a great job of
Oh,
that.
good.
I love that.
And that to me is a hard pie because if you don't get the juice to the
Right.
point of being thick, then it runs all over. And then there have been pies that I've made that I'm like, oh no, this has got to have more cornstarch. There's no way this is going to thicken up. And then I have a pie, I'm like, oh geez, man, it's like, you know, it like gel.
I just get the can and dump it in.
You know, tell you the truth, cooking for kids and everything like that. I mean, I did a lot of like minute rice. You know, my kids did macaroni and cheese out of the box when, you know, I might have had to do something, but I wanted them to be self-sufficient and, you know, being able to give them food. It hasn't really been until they got a little bit older that I do so much more, what should I say, non-processed cooking and stuff. But, you know, for a family, they've got some really good stuff. I think the only thing I tell people is like really think about what processed food you're doing and limit your salt because a lot of those things have
So much
salt
in
in it. But in regards to dessert, I love cream puffs for some reason.
Oh, you made those a while back?
I don't think I ever made a video of it.
No, but she has made.
Yeah, I love the cream puffs. I love like quick breads sometimes, you know, those things. Because sometimes I think you can make them into a dessert. I love bundt cakes or pound cakes because you can elevate those to many different, it can be a snack or you can make it into a little nice dessert. Chocolate mousse.
Yes.
I made, in fact, that recipe will be coming out. Cookies. I love cookies. I always told my kids the Cookie Monster. In fact, I made these some more cookies, which I totally love. And one thing about cookies, I like crunch, crisp. A lot of people like the soft.
No, I like them crisp
Really
too.
working hard. So once it gets brown around the edges, you might be okay, Amy, as long as the middle isn't all gooey. But anyway.
So I wanted to say we put the potatoes in at 122 and it's 133, so about 10 minutes.
5-10 minutes. I'll
Do we
test
wanna
them.
break on the phone.
I will. Let's get on to it. You asked another question. Oh yeah, Connie, you asked how the family's doing, but we'll get another question from Dean and Tori. Well, we already got through the Little People Big World.
Favorite part of filming Little People Big World.
And then tips for someone who doesn't have a ton of time cooking.
We're doing a break real quick. Okay, we're back. That was really quick, wasn't it?
You know, a lot of people ask me this too. Dean and Tori, do you guys have any kids?
No.
Not yet.
Okay. Are you married?
Yep, we're married almost 6 years.
6
in
years.
August.
All right, great. I think you guys both kind of asked how the family's doing. I think Veer and Aj this year will be married 8.
What?
I know, can you
They
believe
were
it?
just graduating high school.
I think Zach and Tori will be married 7 years this year.
Wow.
Molly and Joel will be married 5 this year. And I cannot believe Jacob and Izzy, I think, no, longer than that.
Really? 3?
They got married the year before I did, or no, when did they get married? 2019? I think it's going to be 4 years for them.
I think you're right. Oh my
I think it's
gosh.
going to be 4 years. I know. Can you believe it? Oh my Lord.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. So I don't know
Wow,
why I
didn't
got
think
on
of that.
that, but
Yeah, just how the family's doing.
oh yeah, they're all doing great. My Jackson, my oldest grandchild's going to be 5.
So cute.
I kind of watch Ember and Bodie once a week because Jeremy and Audrey, which when you have 3 kids and raising a family, jobs, it's very hard to do. But they're doing 52 dates a year, so 1 a week.
I saw that. Yeah.
And so I try and watch Ember and Bodie, and that's really been fun because I'm getting to know my son and his wife a little bit more because I hang out afterwards after the kids go to bed and they get home and get to know Ember and Bodie and oh, what a hoot. And then Zach and Tori, they're doing great. She's due in May. So she's getting to that point where, okay, baby, when are you coming out? Pretty quick.
Is this the third baby?
Yeah, that's their third. And Jer and I have 3 kids now too. And then Jackson and Lila, they're doing great. Lila, ever since she became like 18 months, 20 months, what a personality. That girl's got that little sassy personality coming out. And then Potato, oh, bless Jacob and Isabel's heart. You know, they had a little rough 2 weeks prior to the baby being born. And, you know, people always assume breastfeeding is like a piece of cake. Well, it's not.
No, I know.
Yeah, I had a hard time breastfeeding all 4 of mine. And, you know, now this whole tongue tie seems to be an issue. And I'm thinking, man, maybe my kids had it.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's doing great. Mateo is doing wonderful. And so, yeah, that's this baby coming up will be 7 grandchildren. And then, I don't know, maybe Molly and Joel will, who knows? But, tips to plan out a quick, healthy meals. You know what? I have a hard time with lunch. I will admit, Tori, I have a hard time with lunch because I grew up with just making sandwiches. I grew up with the brown paper bag, none of this fancy lunch pail stuff, just a brown paper bag. And so I grew up with sandwiches. So, you know, there's a whole variety of sandwiches you can do depending on what your kids like. For me as an adult, half the time my lunches are leftovers from the night before.
Yeah.
Same.
Right.
Yeah, Dean. Yeah, isn't that the best?
That's all I eat.
But then
is
he
leftovers.
eats all the
I'm
leftovers.
sorry. You said you don't like leftovers.
So
Do you like leftovers, Tori?
it depends on what it is. It depends if it heats well. We both work from home, so we have the advantage of having like a stove and all the stuff in the house. But it's still hard. I still end up just with a salad, and I'm getting bored of the salad.
Well, I think sometimes if you're ever into a crock pot or a slow cooker and you're making roast beef or pork or something like that, and you want to slice some of it, do that for your meal, but then take the other half and shred it, and you've got like a different sandwich or a shredded pork sandwich, or if you take a brisket and, you know, briskets you can slice up, but you can also shred it. And now you got.
My son made a nacho yesterday.
Yeah.
With shredded beef that we had left over. So
I think, you know, not everyone's able to do pasta, but if you have a family and stuff like that, I think, you know, pasta, you can spread that to feed, you know, feed a lot, but you can incorporate vegetables in it. You can incorporate any other meat into it, shrimp and scampi and, you know, things like that. For quick meals, you know, fish quicks in a quick. Fish quicks. Oh my gosh. It cooks quickly. And so does shrimp and even salmon. And, you know, it's easy.
Yeah, I saw a great recipe for salmon in the air fryer, and it's 6 minutes. So you could take a fillet of salmon, season it.
Do you have an air fryer?
I do.
Do you have an air fryer?
I do.
Oh, brothers. I do not have an air fryer.
I'll tell you, it crisps things up for reheating.
Yeah.
So instead of putting something in the oven, even like a piece of pizza, you can throw that in for a few minutes and it crisps up the bread. And
I don't know where I'd put it, man. It's like all these gadgets out there.
It's great for leftover French fries because you know how French fries you cannot warm anyway, but you put them in the air fryer and it's just like when you ordered them.
Okay, are you all telling me that I need to get an air fryer?
Yeah.
I am going to go and, I don't know, was that helpful? I mean, what lunch to me, I like leftovers. I think, you know, hard-boiled eggs, you know, put that over a salad.
Yeah, fresh shrimp. You can make a shrimp salad or like Amy said, even with the pasta, if you have leftover pasta sauce, you could throw in a little shrimp if you eat shrimp and have a nice little pasta, you know, cook up some noodles or.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other stuff I've done for. I think what I'm really into too are those bowl dishes, whether it be rice or noodles.
Grain bowl.
Yeah, like a grain bowl or a noodle bowl. I'm really trying to come up with different things. In fact, I did a fish in a curry coconut sauce, and you can put whatever veggies you want with it. But I had little radishes, snow peas, spinach, shredded carrots. I probably overdid it, tell you the truth. I have a tendency to do that in my salads. I feel like I need all of this stuff.
I do too.
It's probably the way I grew up. And then when I have a simple salad, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is nice. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna check my potato.
She's checking.
Can we ask a question off the list?
Oh gosh, yes.
Go ahead.
I just wondered if Amy would ever consider making Weight Watchers recipes.
Weight Watchers recipes?
Um,
I'm
well-
sure she would. Just, you know, because again, Weight Watchers is really on portion, and also different, you can use a lot of ingredients. Those soft?
yeah, some of these potatoes are soft. I don't know why some of them are hard because they're pretty much all the same shape.
Well, one thing we didn't do is lay them all flat. We kind of overlapped them, so maybe they need to be separate.
No, they do, yeah.
Maybe.
A lot of times it's about browning, if you want to brown the skin.
And Amy's never said she's a professional chef. We're just here kind of having fun and building community and
We
visiting,
should be.
making a meal together. It's kind of like gathering, right?
I'll
So
tell you two things I wish I would have done 20 years ago. I can't even believe 20 years ago I was 40. Jeez,
yeah.
it feels like yesterday.
Well, I didn't realize you were 60, so we're not too far off on age. You're just younger.
Yeah, oh no, I'm not younger. It's all in the mind. Because I have a business degree. I have a BSBA degree. I wish I would have went back and got a teaching certificate. I love teaching. And the other thing I wish I would have gotten or do, and I can still do this, is go back to culinary school or just take some specific classes. Because sometimes when you know how to do things, you just know. I don't know. It's like, you just kind of know. But going back to culinary or taking specific cooking classes or something, it would help me to understand, oh, now I know the why. You
I always
know.
thought you were a teacher.
I did teach preschool, but that was quite some time ago.
Oh, okay.
Believe me, to me, it feels like 5 years ago. And some of these kids come up to me and I'm like, what, you're in college already? Like what?
Yeah.
What are we doing now?
Okay, what are we doing now? Can you hand me those?
Asparagus.
Yeah, we're gonna do these asparagus. I already chopped some of them off. In fact, I'm gonna do, here, you wanna just take this and just kind of cut the ends off, because I don't want this end here. Asparagus, you know, I'm sure you guys have cooked with them. They have this really tough end to it, so I at least cut off an inch or more to the asparagus. But if you don't like asparagus, broccoli would have gone well here.
Usually they say where it breaks is where it's the freshest instead of cutting.
Oh,
When you
that's
do,
true too.
if you do the stalk, it cuts off where just.
And then I think, I love when you get spring asparagus because they're thinner, they're not as thick.
Right.
They're not as,
Yeah.
how do you say, woody
Mealy or
woody down at the
Tough.
bottom. So these spring asparagus to me is, again, seasonal.
Okay. Yeah, see, that one broke up higher.
So I'm just gonna lay these on one side here.
More oil.
I'm gonna put my mushrooms on here. Oops.
Take that out. Yeah, she almost flipped the pan.
Can you cut this onion in like quarters or something? And like I said, I mean, if you don't like onions, you know, we're coming up to St. Patty's Day. Cut little wedges of cabbage and put that on here too. I think, and I'm just gonna like par. No, this is good. I'm gonna par, I guess I'm gonna call it par roasties, so that when I put the steak on, it will continue to cook and I won't have, well, for you, Connie, Connie, that would have been good, but mushy.
Yes, I like mushy.
We're gonna get the tomatoes. Where? Oh,
Right
do I? Oh yeah, here we go.
Garlic, fresh garlic.
Oh no, that, you know what? I need this melted. If you're doing steak, I think a great thing over steak would be Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, blue cheese. Blue cheese crumbles. Chris loves blue cheese. So towards the end, I would put that on there, just have it get a little bit of soft and a little bit of melted, on the steak. But if you can melt that for me.
And some people like to know butter. Tillamook butter is really good. We have that here.
Well, we're local, yeah.
Yeah, so
I don't know if they
guys
get it where
have
they are.
Tillamook products, look for Tillamook. They're really good. Okay, I'm gonna go heat this up real quick.
And if you guys are doing chicken, rosemary, I think goes well on chicken, but I love thyme. Thyme and oregano on chicken.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna do these tomatoes.
Too bad we can't get a sample.
No.
Amy, did you put the Parmesan on now?
No, what I'm gonna do is when I cook the steak, now I'm gonna put the steak on broil because I have such a thin steak. You guys can continue to roast chicken. And then maybe if you want to, but since it doesn't have a skin on it, I'm not sure I would broil the chicken because I think it may dry it out. I don't know, Dean, you probably have more experience on that than I. But what I do is I mix the I mix the butter with the herbs and the garlic, and I'll put that over the meat, and then I'll just sprinkle some parm over just before the other side is done cooking, so I can get it incorporated in there. Because if not, then your parm's just going to burn, and so will your garlic because you put it on broil.
Okay, here's your butter.
Thank you. And then you can just go ahead and just mix in like one little pinch of rosemary and at least half that garlic. So I'm gonna do a little bit of oil over my mushrooms, my onions here, a little bit of tomatoes. I'm just gonna really be careful of my salt, but I'll continue to do a little bit of salt. Now, if you wanted to do your tomatoes, mushrooms, and onions in a bowl, that's perfectly fine. And then put it on the baking sheet. That's good too, because sometimes I think when you got multiple vegetables here, you're ending up with a whole lot of oil.
Is that olive oil?
Yes, I use olive oil for everything now.
Yeah,
I just got in the habit of it. I will still use canola oil when it comes to baking, though.
Right.
I haven't really gotten into using olive oil in baking.
It's a lot lighter. The canola oil is lighter.
Yeah, especially for this stuff.
Okay, what else can I do?
That is it.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna put this in maybe, I don't know, 5, maybe 10 minutes.
There's the butter.
We'll see how it goes, and then
Put the meat in.
we're gonna put the steak on.
Looking good. How about any more questions? Tori?
I'm trying to think. I think I asked the 3 that I had written. I don't know. I was really interested about the family too, which you already talked about a little bit. And
Well, Zach and Tori are up in Battleground now, right? Washington.
they're where?
Oh, don't they know? Yeah, they
On
know.
social media,
Yeah.
it's been posted that they moved away from the farm in Oregon to Battleground.
But that was last
Washington.
season. Then.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well,
I just
anyway.
watched the last season. I
I
don't
don't
remember
know
if they
where
said that.
Sometimes on these shows, you can't keep track of what's gone on. It has been
Right.
posted with social media.
Well, I think for me, it's hard because I'm like, you just live life. And sometimes there's a big chunk of time before the next episodes
At
come
least
over.
six months.
And
usually.
I do not overanalyze my episodes because
Well, it's not on yet, is it?
Pardon?
It's just been posted somewhere that they might have moved, but
Social
there's
media.
no episodes on, right?
No, no.
They're coming. Those episodes
Yeah.
are coming.
So
Oh.
we can talk anything more about that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
Are they near Molly and her husband?
What was that?
Are they near Molly and her husband? As that in Tori?
Not really.
I mean, they're closer, but no, I mean, they're not that close.
Not significant.
And then, you know, Jared, you know, they're living where they're living, and they've got a place in Bend now, kind of.
Yeah.
They're remodeling that place, and I don't know if they're going to turn that into like a little retreat, you know, type of thing, or do some workshops there, or, you know, he's not sure what they're going to do.
Bend, Oregon is in Eastern Oregon, and it's more arid there and dry. It's a beautiful country, part of the country. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of spread out, more mountainous, and then.
Well, the one thing Chris and I are doing, we are going on a motorcycle ride to Alaska.
Wow.
And so we are going June 2nd through the 20th. So
That's awesome.
Oregon, Washington, British Columbia, kind of go into a little bit of Alaska. Yeah, on a motorcycle. So I'm hoping I don't freeze my butt.
Are you looking into some kind of?
Yeah, I'm looking into getting a new helmet, and me being a little person, my head is slightly larger.
How far is that? How far of a trip is that?
I don't know. You know, Chris plans it all, and he's planning it with 2 other people, and I'm just along for the ride. I'm in the back of the seat. Man, I get to enjoy everything. We're gonna try and film it, do GoPros and stuff like that. I want to get better at that, and I know he would like to get better at, like, I'm trying to help him to understand. Think about the show. We're not a travel log. We got to create fun and adventure on this Alaska trip.
Get from A to B, hurry up.
Or not just say, look where we're at. This is the town we just rode through. Nice scenery.
My husband rides motorcycles. My husband rides motorcycles too, but I won't get on them. I'll get on the back of it. I can't reach the ground.
Well, I'm just excited, but we do, like Lisa said, do have to look into some other equipment, is to rain gear, like water to put over our jacket and our legs and everything. That's the biggest thing I'm worried about.
Cold too.
I know, that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
So I want to get a new jacket, because the jackets I have just fit me. And so I'm like, what about a sweater?
Underneath,
you know, I can't do that. So anyway.
Yeah.
Well, Connie, you don't really cook anymore?
Oh yeah, I just, whenever you ask me a question, my mind just goes blank. Like, oh no, I don't cook. I have to cook every day, but
I know.
Not major meals, you know.
Do you have a favorite recipe or something that you seem to always cook when you had kids or something like that?
Yeah.
Well, I do like to make baked ziti. Since I'm full-blooded Italian, I do a lot of Italian cooking. You are too, Lisa?
Really? My dad is 100% Calabrese.
Wow. Yeah, we're Sicilian and Napolitan the other side. So
And Dean waved in there too.
Yeah, Sicilian and Calabrese.
Wow.
What did he say?
I'm sorry.
Where's your family from?
Oh, Sicily and Calabria.
Oh,
all right.
That's
down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, so you like to cook baked ziti, Connie? Is it just tomato base, ground beef base, or?
I usually use sausage, and believe it or not, I get ragu and I add all kinds of stuff to it, and my family likes it better than homemade sauce.
Okay,
so I don't bother with it. So I add tomatoes and you know, sugar, garlic, everything like I'm making homemade. Just the sauce is ragu. But I prefer sausage other than hamburger, and just the ricotta and the mozzarella and the ziti, and just layer it.
Do you both do Sunday sauce every Sunday, or do you follow that?
That's a grandparent thing that I really miss.
Yes.
I miss those traditions, but once they're gone, you know, things change.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool if you could have like a journal that you could have all your family recipes in, and what kind of on some.
I
things.
actually did that for my daughters for Christmas one year. I put all my favorite recipes in a book, and they really loved that. That was their favorite Christmas present. So
Awesome.
That's very cool.
yeah.
What about you, Dean and Tori? I mean, if you're, do you like Italian food? Are you gluten-free, or can you have dairy and pasta and all that stuff, Tori?
We're still trying to figure out like dietary restrictions for me because I get a lot of like stomach problems.
I think it's mostly acid.
So like
tomato
tomato
base
sauce
sets her off, which is unfortunate.
Tomato sauce, but not tomatoes, which is interesting. We're trying to figure out what I can eat and what I can't. But we'll still do like pasta and put like butter or cheese.
We do a lot of cheese
it.
sauces. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times what I love in pasta too is just like a buttered garlic and pepper.
Right.
On it. I mean, that is really good.
Have you had Mazzithra cheese? Mazzithra?
Oh, I don't think
Kind of
so.
like, it looks like a thick shredded Parmesan, but it's kind of a whiter cheese. And oh my gosh, it's so you brown it in butter and then put it over your pasta.
What's it called?
Wonderful.
Mazzithra, Mizethra.
Cool.
Google it.
That would be awesome.
Never heard of that.
Dean and Tori, you guys working on thinking about a pasta thing. If you got a specific recipe, I'd love to know. Lisa's Italian. I'm getting on this pasta kick. I would like to make gnocchi.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
She
knows how to say it now.
And my own like pasta. I just want to like give it a try and just see what that process is. Okay, you guys, I took mine out of the oven because I almost forgot about it. But my asparagus still have a little bite to it, and they're green. And I did not use button, the white mushrooms. I used crimini, or however you say that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am now just
Oh
gonna
my gosh, it smells so
lay
good.
my steak. I salt and peppered this side, so I'm gonna lay that one down. I'm going to,
Is that steak raw at this point?
yep.
And you could lay it on top with no problem?
You know what? I thought about that too, but yeah, because the heat of it, especially when you broil it, should be all okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now with chicken, I would probably make a little room separate than Tori and Dean for chicken, because I didn't mention that in my recipe. I'm going to tweak this recipe that I sent you all, and we'll try and resend it to you. But I think for chicken, I would probably just create space on a baking sheet to cook the chicken and maybe not put raw chicken over the vegetables and stuff.
Yeah, it should be
Yeah.
okay.
I've got it in a separate sheet for that.
Okay.
And then just tomatoes.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to move my rack because I'm going to broil it. So I'm going to move my rack up higher, change my oven to broil. Because that may have been a detail I didn't,
Put on
to roast your stuff, but then broil your meat. So you might have to change the racks.
And you kind of have to be by the broiler.
Oh, yeah, you do.
So,
So Lisa, that's going to be your job.
okay.
Let me know. Whoa, baby, what's burning?
So Mazzithra cheese is Mizithra.
I'm going to write that down. Thank you.
Mizithra. And brown it, shredded Mazzithra in butter, and then just sprinkle it over the.
Oh, it's so good.
All right. Wish me luck that I don't burn the meat.
Now on my oven, I have a high or low broil. I think, I do want the meat to cook somewhat. Now for chicken, you may not need to put this on broil, but for the steak, I'm putting it in on broil because I like it medium rare, at least with a little pink or red in it. Oh. Well, this will
Stay
be
here so she gets.
This will be 3 to 4 minutes on each side.
Yeah.
Okay, Rick.
Bless you.
Bless you.
I think the pepper got
The
to me.
pepper was a too much earlier too. I was trying not. I was like, oh.
The other thing I like with beef too, that I think would be good too, is like a little side of horseradish, mixed in, if you can make like a little mayo horseradish,
I'd even
sauce.
drizzle a little bit of red wine maybe
Oh,
over
yeah.
it too, to let the vegetables kind of get a little flavor of that, or balsamic glaze.
Mhm.
Just give it a
Oh,
little.
yeah, balsamic glaze, or even Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, there's a
Would
lot
be
of
good.
things that you could just like,
You
just
know?
give it a little
Mhm.
kick.
And even depending on your beef, I mean, you could do steak with this too. It doesn't have to be flank or skirt.
Filet, you could do a nice
And,
filet.
or even, you know, with your chicken as well, maybe thighs, chicken thighs. Make a little Asian, like bok choy and
Mhm.
onions and mushrooms and maybe carrots laid with your chicken, but use
That
some of
sounds good.
those soy sauce or a little bit of ginger. You know, I don't like my food too hot. I mean, I like a little heat, but man, when your food is spicy hot and your taste buds change, and I'm
When
like, I
it's
can't
like
even taste the
coming out.
food.
I know.
So
Yeah, I don't like spicy hot either.
yeah. So are you guys still good for another 15 half hour?
Yes,
Absolutely.
I don't want to leave you.
Well, I want the meat to cook,
I'm watching it.
and hopefully that will do that, and so we can present this somewhat. But you guys have
Amy,
any summer
Is your
plans?
dad still doing well?
My dad?
Yeah.
Well, he's 93. He just drove from. He lives in a little town about an hour west of Detroit, and
Right.
you know, it's Michigan. It's winter, and you know stuff like that. And so he
Yeah.
just took 6 hours and drove through the snow up north to our cabin up in the UP. He had to
Wow.
drive through 3 feet of snow. It's so funny. The story I heard was that he got in, you know, around the cabin up in the UP on Lake Michigan. We're about 20 miles west of the bridge, and
Oh, wow.
so, he got in like maybe 4:30. There was so much snow and stuff. He said, "Forget this." So he went into town to stay at a hotel.
My
And
husband
then-
was born in Sheboygan.
Oh yeah, Sheboygan. I know that.
Yeah.
And so the next day he went back, and neighbors helped him. He had to
Oh.
unfreeze the gate, and yeah,
Wow.
it's like, man, oh man.
Yeah, this
That's
weather.
that's awesome. He's able to do that at his age.
You know, we're very fortunate, and we're fortunate that, you know, he's willing to use a cell phone. 'Cause it's like,
Right.
really, you cannot be going out and doing all of that without being able to get a hold of anybody.
Right.
So let us know when you're going, where you're going, and when you think, and let us know when you're coming
He's
home.
just
because-
this strong man. I mean, just at your wedding, he's just, you know, you would not think he was even close to 80. He looks
No, he doesn't look 93 at all.
Not at all.
He does, you know, obviously he does move slower and stuff like that. I mean, I think
Don't we
most
all?
of I think most of our wish is, if we were to die, let's not have a long lingering health issue before that day happens.
Right.
It's already looking. We're flipping the steak, maybe. It's getting brown on the edges.
Yeah, I give it a.
Another couple minutes?
Maybe I should put it on high. Maybe I'll put it on high.
Tori, do you guys have your own business?
Pardon?
No, so, well, my husband does. He just went to go get water. There he is.
Hello, sorry.
But I work for an insurance company.
Oh,
Oh,
that's.
Yeah,
I
I'm a
always-
musician and content creator on YouTube.
Oh,
Wait a minute,
awesome.
you're a who, Dean? You do what?
I'm a musician and I'm a content creator on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, are you in a band?
No, it's just me playing songs from like old video games and TV shows, and then I have another channel doing music education on there as well.
Oh, that's great.
We do play together on the weekends.
Yeah, we play at restaurants and wineries and stuff.
Oh,
Oh, that's
you
neat.
are in a band.
She sings.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry.
what insurance company? Is it like property and casualty or life and
Yeah,
health?
it's a PNC license, life and health, notary, yeah.
Nice. I've been in the life and health. I've had my life and health license for 36 years.
Oh, wow, it's good to keep up, because if you lose it, it's so hard to get back, so.
Yeah. So very cool.
That's what I told my daughter. She passed her CPA exam, you know, the first time. And, you know, she doesn't have any kids anymore yet or whatever. But I told her, I said, you know what? My recommendation to you, Molly, I don't care what stage of life you're in until you're much, much older. I said, I hope you keep up that CPA because that is the most valuable thing. You never know what's going to go on in your life and you got to go back to work and you earned it. You're smart. I mean,
yeah, she is.
Let that go. So.
Yeah.
Don't you think Amy'd be a good insurance agent? Maybe a Medicare, sell Medicare or policies?
Yeah, it's hard. It's very stressful.
After 16 years, you know, the show will probably, it's got to end at some time.
Yeah.
I can't retire yet.
I hope not. I hope it doesn't end. Yeah.
You want to flip it? Yeah. Okay, I think it's, I mean, have you checked the time? Like how long has it been in there? 6 minutes? Okay. Here it is. We're going to flip over our steak. Are you going to show it? I mean, I think I'm going to switch to broil on high because I want more of a crispy edge. Okay.
And if you do high, I think you might burn the other stuff. You know that?
Yeah, that's true.
See the onions and everything?
Yep. Oh no, you wanted a little char. You wanted a little char.
Okay. 206. All right, we're almost there, peoples.
Okay, check it in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Well, I put it on.
Would you join me on a live sometime? I would love to have you.
Who do you do your live with?
Myself.
What does that mean to you?
I make wreaths on my live. So.
Oh yeah, okay.
I have I mean, you don't have to join me live, but if you would join me in the audience, I would love to have.
You know what? I may be able to do that.
Yeah, you don't have to come on live, but
shoot me a message on Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen.
Just talk to Nikki, who's you've been corresponding with.
That one email that we've been doing.
Yes.
My page name is Wreaths by Connie M.
Okay, Wreaths by Connie M. Yeah, that'll be kind of fun. Now, are they flowers and stuff like that, or are they natural?
Yeah, I need followers. That's why I was asked. I'm trying to get to 10,000.
Are you?
So I'm about 400 shy.
Oh, you'll get there.
I hope so. It's going slow.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's I mean, even with someone like me has a name, I mean, we got to keep pushing it. I mean, because you know, I'm not a Kim Kardashian. I don't have 10 million followers, you know.
How many followers do you have? You probably have a lot.
You know, on my Instagram, I mean, people
Total
can see,
overall, she's got about 1.7, 1.8.
Wow, that's awesome.
Between Instagram.
Oh, really? So I only have 350,000 on Facebook?
No.
Because I'm like 1.4, 1.5 on Instagram.
Gosh, I'm excited about 10,000.
Yeah, no, you're.
Well, the thing is, though, Connie, you should be, because your network and your exposure of people. See, that's the thing about social networking, in my opinion, is that you look at all these other people, but they also have a team. I mean, my team is like Lisa and I and maybe 2 other people.
Yeah.
And so, you know, a lot of these other people, it's their job and they're at it all the time. My son and his wife are at it all the time.
Yeah, you do have to be, because I notice when I'm not live, like if I take a break, it just stops. Your followers just stop. It's just, you have to do it all the time.
Yeah.
So
because there's a whole slew of it. I mean, influencers or people on social media, they're a dime a dozen now.
Yeah. I know. I first started making wreaths, you could count on one hand how many people were doing it, and now there's just so many. You couldn't possibly watch them all.
No.
So
I'm watching all the cooking people that I follow.
Right.
You live in Hyde Park. Where is that?
It is
right above Poughkeepsie, so right near the Culinary Institute.
Yeah, we actually live like across the street from the Culinary in New York.
So Hyde Park, like you're in Manhattan, New York City?
No. So it's about an hour and a half north of the city.
Okay, got it.
Poughkeepsie tends to be the butt of every joke and like sitcoms.
We almost burned it. Hang on.
No.
Perfect.
You guys are in New York?
Yep. Yeah.
Can I put it down?
Oh, yeah, here, put it down right here.
Okay.
Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I
Look at
forgot to put
this.
some of the butter stuff on it.
Just pour it over the top.
I just barely remembered to do that myself.
Well, you know, you get talking.
How do you get your husband to do all that good cooking, Tori?
Because if I did it, we wouldn't probably make it. Like, I feel like we would get very sick if I made it. So,
That's their strategy.
yeah.
That's
Well,
the
one of the things that probably changed in this too, I think the tomatoes and the onions, the potatoes are great, even the mushrooms. I probably would have maybe waited to put the asparagus on when I put on the meat. Because when you do put it on broil and stuff like that, they cook up fast. And these were very, you know, these were thinner. They were spring asparagus. So,
they probably taste delicious, just like I like them.
yeah. But, you know, I mean, they still hold up a little bit.
And they have a little drizzle of that butter on there and you can
Well, let me
smell.
slice this up.
Oh my gosh, the garlic. Of course, the garlic for us Italians.
Yeah.
It smells awesome
You
though.
can never not,
Really good.
you can never run out of garlic or not have enough. The more garlic.
No.
Well, I think the thing that I got from a sheet pan, it is easy. You go in stages for the most part, but it is easy to make a dish. It's really putting what you want with it, the seasonings, and you adjust those seasonings if you're having more of an, I'm gonna call it like an Asian kind of cooking flair to it, or an Indian kind of flair to it if you want to add curry powder and stuff like that, or even a country flair, you know, a little barbecued and roasted potatoes and, you know, stuff like that. So, Tori and Dean, I was going to ask you because you have no kids. You're living life.
Yep.
What do you guys like to do together? Activities or adventures and stuff like that?
That's sometimes the hardest thing, especially like the last few years, you know, with COVID and everything being shut down.
Good, yeah.
Finding like fun date things to do is so limited, especially when it's freezing cold here, like 7 months out of the year. So
we perform together on the weekends. We like to go to
do
certain
what?
perform.
we play
on the
music at
weekends.
restaurants.
Yeah, and then we go to restaurants, try new foods. We like to we order a date box, so we do like a date once a month.
Yeah, they make these little subscription date boxes where they'll have, you know, some s'mores and like a little heater for the s'mores to cook them on, and
Wow, that's a good
card game to play together. Just fun little stuff to spark a fun night.
Now, do you,
oh my gosh, that looks so good.
do you get that online? Like that arrives once a month or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I just saw ours is on the portrait.
Oh, is
Actually.
it really?
Because I think I've heard of those.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's just a nice, easy little extra thing to keep you just regularly hanging out, having fun.
Do you guys perform on Facebook at all where we could watch you?
We actually, she
We
just put out a
used
new
to.
music video.
Yeah.
But yeah, during lockdown, we were doing like a weekly Facebook Live doing that.
But yeah,
What's
but now
the
we're
name What's the name of your page?
It's Blank Canvas Music.
Huh. I like that name because you're creative. Any music, you put in music together, your words and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be neat to watch.
Yeah. We also like we do art stuff too. I like to draw together sometimes. And
Yeah, she's a fantastic artist. I am not, so I just kind of.
but it's
have
fun.
feelings about
Yeah,
this
it's fun to do it anyway together and take
Yeah,
walks.
you have to be born with that talent.
Yeah,
Well, you're making reads, Connie. That's creative too. That's
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
cool.
that's awesome.
Well,
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
not like an artist though.
This is how
Oh,
I
that-
fixed it up.
that looks
I don't
so
know if
good.
You can see it, but it has that little pink.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
theirs.
look at you guys.
Ooh.
Did you guys do
Ooh.
peppers or tomatoes?
we've got tomatoes, green beans, and mushrooms.
Oh, yum.
What seasonings did you guys do? Here you go.
I did the rosemary and thyme along with the garlic butter sauce with salt and pepper.
Okay.
Ooh,
I love
that's-
garlic.
You guys are making me hungry.
Well, I always try and feed Lisa when she comes actually to my house because she lives like 45 minutes from here.
Oh, wow.
Well, traffic can be a bear.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
And
It's not that bad.
so I'm like, boy, that's the least I can do is to
Feed her.
Feed me.
yeah, feed her. I hope this meat's good.
Yeah, the meat looks excellent.
I hope
How
so.
far are you away from the farm now, Amy?
About 10 minutes maybe?
Oh,
Nice.
ooh, that looks good.
Do you have a grater? I'll get one.
Yeah, I don't see it. We're gonna grate a little parm on here too.
Sounds good.
You can shred it, you can grate it, you can do whatever. And if you don't want parm, that's fine too. But I just think, oh yeah, where's my parsley?
I didn't see any out.
You gotta decorate this up.
Here, I'll take it.
You wanna pull that out? All right.
I was watching you cut that meat. It looks so tender.
Who's that soft?
It's very tender and it's perfectly cooked.
I don't remember this one. The meat.
Yeah, you did.
Not mine, yours I did.
Oh, no, on the pan you did, not separately.
And then, you know, if you don't want the parm over your meat, that's fine too, depending on what your meat is. I think it'd go great with chicken. Oh,
Take some.
sorry.
Yeah,
I
go
forgot
without
about
the
her.
cheese. Wow.
Who doesn't like Parmesan?
Thank you. And then just a little parsley decorated up, you know? Yeah. I wish I could be there to have what you guys have as
I know.
well, and Tori.
We're excited.
Yes.
That's one thing I'd love to do is, there's probably another show out there, but I'll have to check it out. But I'd love to be able to travel and go to people's homes. But really,
Yeah, be awesome.
but
You
they
can come to
can't-
my house.
yeah,
You need to get out of that cold weather. Come down to Florida.
all right. What their legacy is, because the one thing I really enjoyed traveling all over the state when I was growing up is when you go to these regional areas of our country, you really got a chance to try that kind of region's food, you know, whether you're in Miami. I mean, that might be south, but I'm sure it's got a huge Cuban influence.
Yes,
That kind of cooking.
yes.
The
Very
Southwest, the West, or Caribbean, yes, Caribbean, the Northwest, even the core of the Midwest too. I think, you know, it's great to be so like all over the place and you can get something anywhere, but there's nothing like that authentic culinary experience or history regionally. So
Right.
that would be my show, to go to people's houses and say, show me something tradition.
Sounds good
Yeah.
to me.
All right.
Okay, are you guys eating? Can I
I
take a
think
bite
so.
of this? I gotta tell you.
Yes.
I have to see if it actually tastes good.
Too bad there's not taste-o-vision
Oh, no.
or smell-o-vision.
Is it
So
good?
good. Oh my gosh.
Not bad.
That looks
You know, one
delicious.
thing I was thinking about using the skirt and flank steak is to marinate it and break it down a little bit,
Mhm.
dry it off, and then broil it.
With the garlic butter.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, who doesn't like garlic butter?
Looks really good.
Okay, I'm
Sorry,
hungry.
Connie.
Sorry.
Um,
Mm.
now you're gonna force me to cook tonight.
I must be hungry.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, that's what I have. Steak sheet pan. I tell you, you can make it your own. You can do whatever you want. You guys have chosen to do something different, which I think is awesome. Very similar, but you know, changing the steak for chicken. And how did your chicken turn out?
Great.
Awesome.
Really good.
It's actually really flavorful too.
Yeah, the garlic butter sauce is
Mhm.
perfect. I'm gonna use that.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that great?
On the mushrooms too. Oh my God.
Yeah, the mushrooms. Oh.
Mm.
Yeah, I love garlic butter. Wait a minute.
Mhm.
Do you make your own garlic butter or do you buy it already made?
Oh, geez, it's easy to make. You just melt butter. Either put garlic powder. I put minced garlic with it, a little salt and pepper, and
Yeah, I just
You're
did it
ready to
while
go.
you guys were talking, just the minced garlic into the butter, melted butter, and a little bit of rosemary.
Mhm.
Oh, that sounds good.
Poured it
Yeah.
over the top.
yeah, one of the things I really love doing with most of my soups too is I just don't like throwing in raw carrots or raw onions. And I think most people do that with soup. But when it comes to mushrooms, I think mainly mushrooms, is I kind of like just a little drizzle of olive oil, but I want to brown them first,
Mm.
really get that nice earthy roasted
Yeah.
flavor from a mushroom instead of just putting in the mushroom.
Yeah.
Because then it cooks in the liquid, but I don't want canned mushrooms. I want like roasted.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
like when I make cookies and I add nuts. Now, sometimes not everything needs to be done that way, but I usually roast or toast my nuts in a dry saute pan because I really like that nice nutty roasted flavor of the nut within the cookie instead of just raw like
Chunky.
walnuts or whatever it is.
I was watching somebody make chicken and dumplings not too long ago, and he surprisingly used a chicken that you buy, a rotisserie chicken, and put
Yeah.
it in the broth. I'd never seen that before.
Oh no,
And-
that, if you're talking about a quick way, quick dinners,
Yeah,
I am shocked
Mhm.
at the cost of a rotisserie chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Less than buying one and making it.
I mean, and talk about stretching that if you had a family on a budget,
mhm.
shredding some of that, putting it in soup, putting it in pastas.
Yeah,
You
use it
make
for
a hot pie with it.
mhm.
Pardon? Oh yeah, pot pies. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good too. I was just shocked to see him putting it in liquid, already cooked, and using that for the dumplings.
Well, the thing is, you have a lot of flavor with a rotisserie
Right.
chicken,
Yeah,
and so yeah.
so that
Okay, I have a question. What is one thing you don't like to cook? What don't you like to cook, Dean?
That's a good question. I don't know if there's anything I don't like to cook, but just making a roux is still something I have a lot of trouble getting right.
Yeah.
And so that's my biggest frustration point anytime I'm cooking.
I think it tastes good though. I do.
But I would have to say that's sometimes my thing too. If I'm in a rush and I don't think about it, I'm like, why am I adding more liquid? Well, it's probably because you added too much flour and butter.
Right.
And so I don't have it memorized as to if you use 2 tablespoons of butter, I think it's 2 tablespoons of flour. You create this like roux or paste, or if you don't need it that thick, back off on the flour because I think it's equal portions of the butter and the flour. I think.
I need to just write it down and put it right here. That's
I
the
know.
simplest thing.
yeah,
Because you only need a little bit, then you got to adjust the liquid. And
Mhm.
then when my brain is
back and
thinking
forth.
like a lot,
Yeah,
and too much liquid, and then I got to create a slurry in order to thicken it up. Oh, brothers,
it's
You're right.
complicated.
you're right. What's another thing? There's a couple other things that I have a hard time cooking. I can't remember.
I don't like to deep fry things, like
Oh,
have a
yeah.
big thing
Mm.
of oil
Yeah.
and dry. I'm always afraid I'm gonna burn and things are gonna catch on fire. And it's so messy and yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm really a fry.
You know what I'm afraid of when it comes to that? Oversaturating the food. Like,
Mhm.
did I leave it in there too long? Why does this taste oily? Why doesn't this taste like it does in the restaurant? Like,
Right.
what am I doing wrong with frying?
or it's not cooked enough, but it's brown on the outside.
Yeah.
That's bad.
That means your oil's on too high, but then I
Yeah.
wouldn't know. That's why I like when they say you can make a baked donut in the oven. Oh, I'm like all for that.
Yeah.
Or, some other stuff.
I'm a
Mm-hmm.
big baker, but not a big cooker.
Yeah, she's a
So-
wonderful baker.
Yeah.
So we split. So he'll cook the dinner, I'll cook the dessert. But
Nice.
You know what I just made? Loved it. I think the thing that intimidates me
Oh, you
is
made
yeast,
that.
dealing with yeast.
Yeah.
And so I just made my first focaccia
Good.
bread.
awesome.
Oh, that
Oh,
was
I was
good.
so excited. I had to go online because I don't know, my kitchen must be cold because I can leave out butter and it's still hard. It's not like it, gets soft.
Yeah.
And so I thought, I don't think I have warm enough here. This yeast doesn't seem to foam like
I have a hard time with
they
yeast.
say it does.
Yeah.
So I went online and said, can you not proof your yeast, but that first rise, can you put it in the oven? And the things that I have found, I went on multiple sites and they all came to the conclusion, yes, turn your oven on at 200 before you put the item in, because you have to let it rise usually for an hour or something. Turn it off. That's what I did. And I thought, oh my gosh, I was so excited that I actually saw this thing become this thing. I have never seen that before because it's like, I think my kitchen was so cold. But I thought, I'm giving this another try because this was fun.
So what did you do? You turned it on for 2, because I always have a problem getting it to rise.
I turned the oven on to 200, let it reach 200. But then you've got to turn it off before you actually put the item in there, because if you don't, you're pre-cooking it. And
Right, baking before.
You just want to create a warm environment so the yeast elements and the moisture or whatever you've got in this bread dough has a chance to rise. Activate the yeast to let it rise.
I'm writing that down.
I was like, I have to give it another try to see if what I'm talking about really is true.
Yeah, nothing ever rises for me. I don't know what it is.
Do you guys follow anyone, or what is it that's something I should make? Give it a try.
I mean, I can give you a dessert. So I make these, and you can use like a bagged mix. So you don't have to like make it yourself. You just make the dough from the bag. And then I'll do cream cheese and vanilla and a little bit of powdered sugar in a mixer and make like a cream cheese filling or a cheesecake filling. And then I'll put that in the middle of that cookie dough and bake it. And it's really good. It's crunchy on the outside, but like chewy on the inside.
So is it like a cookie or?
Yeah, it's
It's a
just a cookie. And when you bite into it, there's cheesecake inside.
Okay.
What kind of cookie mix was it?
I think I have it actually. I don't know. Am I allowed to show it or no?
Yeah.
You said cream cheese and vanilla and what else?
Yes, right.
Yeah. Oh, I think maybe the delivery guy didn't deliver it, but it's like a sugar cookie mix from I think Betty Crocker. But you can use anything. You can use any kind of cookie dough, and I add chocolate chips. It's really good.
So is it a sugar cookie mix?
Yeah. Yeah. So any of them. But then I add chocolate chips because I think it's different than like a chocolate chip cookie mix. It has like more sugar in it, so it tastes better.
Can you get the tube?
Yeah, you probably could. Yeah, you just flatten it out, put the dough, the cream cheese in the middle, and then put another piece of dough on top.
Wow.
Sounds good.
I highly recommend it.
Sounds good.
I have to definitely give that a try.
Yeah.
What's your favorite dessert to make besides that one?
Oh, besides that one,
Like cakes?
I mean like a tres leche cupcake.
Pardon?
A tres leche cupcake. That was really good.
Yeah. Okay, good.
You guys have it good. He cooks and you do the dessert. You guys, how do you stay so nice and skinny?
I was a yoga instructor and had a yoga studio for a long time, and then COVID hit, and now I don't have it anymore. But
just amazing how many things COVID has changed.
Yeah.
Yoga is good. I mean, being a little person, I can't do all those things, but I do what I can. But the one thing I loved about yoga was the stretching, but also just the
relaxation.
Just letting your mind go and not think about all these things. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
I usually go to yoga on Wednesday nights at our gym.
Well, it's about, they say it's not about the postures, it's about the breathing and being able to quiet your mind.
Right, be present right there, not have all this other stuff always going and.
Well, half the time we're worrying about stuff that it's like, really, why?
Yeah.
Like, is it really necessary? You
Mhm.
know?
Right.
Well, you guys, I don't want to take up a lot of your time here. Thank you so very much
Yes.
for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was
Thank
fun,
you.
you know, getting to know you guys, conversations, getting your thoughts on cooking and what you guys like to do and stuff. I'm always learning. I enjoy, you know, cooking besides someone that knows a whole heck of a lot more than I do.
And gathering with people around the table.
Because it either reinforces what I already know, or I learn something. And who doesn't like to be reinforced? Oh, golly, I am getting that right. But yeah, like you said,
This was such an honor to be chosen. I just put it down and I thought, oh, whatever, I'll just do it. When I heard, I thought, really?
Thank you.
thank you guys very much. And
Yeah.
I hope you continue watching, you know, Little People, Big World when it comes on. But I
Absolutely.
definitely appreciate you guys supporting Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. It's my little thing I love to do, and who knows where it'll go.
And we'll
It's-
send you each one of our aprons, so look for that
Oh.
coming in the mail.
Oh, cool.
Thank
That's so
you.
exciting.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
It's so
so
nice
much.
to meet you. You're awesome.
Yeah, you guys too. And stay
Yeah.
safe, all the best. Enjoy your week. Well, with all this chaos going on, try to enjoy your week and have a good weekend. And
Yes.
yeah, if you guys ever do a live music thing, let me know, because I'm very
Yeah.
into the
Will
local,
do.
you know, some of it in Hillsborough here, local music scene, and it's great.
And we'll
So
look for your wreath making, Connie.
yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to look up you guys too.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Bye-bye.
Take care, you
Bye.
guys.
You too.
Bye.
Enjoy.